Hello and welcome to the transcription explanation of this design. It was done using the script shown above me, which me and my friend Lauren Sherman have been developing since 2011, 2012-ish, and has become my full-time job. I draw designs in this script, and it is particularly popular among Doctor Who fans, that has been adopted as the language of the time travelers on that time-traveling TV show. And these are some designs made for somebody who is also familiar with the script, so I'm gonna jump in a little bit more into my design choices and some fun technicalities in this video rather than an exact letter by letter as far as what it is that I did here in these designs. So, you'll notice that they're mirrored. They are roughly the same layout, same size, same big overarching swirly thing, and to get that mirrored effect, I come up with a plan that I can fit both phrases into and then draw the outline. So I actually drew just one version of this little hexagon thing, which is based on an older design I did of the universe, actually. I kind of built it around a design I was really proud of the universe, which has I tilted it because Commissioner said they liked the sort of tilted look of one of the designs I did. And then I put in a couple spaces to put these little Outer Wilds designs from the game, the icons, and then I added these little swirls and then the sentence circles. Well, there's not really a proper sentence circle in this, there's just a couple extra circles around some of our words, in such a way that I knew that we're gonna have the word universe match with the word journey, the word is match with your, and then and match with on, the word we. This was the hardest one, the word we matching the word curious. To do this, I used a clever sentence circle thing going around the little word we and just had the whole word we fit in kind of the space of the C in curious. And then the word are fit with the word be. So I kind of mapped out my layout with a plan to fit all of the words of both designs in the same sentence structure. And then I filled in the letters of those words in that sentence structure. So yeah, let's go ahead and get to reading them. So we'll start with this one. Here we have a start marker, and I did put start markers at the beginning of both of them, so that way you could mirror them however you want and flip and rotate them. Plus, I wanted the start marker to kind of match and fill the space of the letter A in the word and. But yeah, so start markers here. Our first word is this word here. It's a full circle, and it has a circle crossing the line, so that's a TH, and then here's the E, so the. Bottom of the word circle's here. Here's a little guy with a line going outwards, so that's a U. N with one line, I line going inwards, V, shallow divot one line, E centered on the line of that word circle, and this is an RS letter stack. Letter stacks are when you have two letters in the same row stacked on top of each other. When you do that, you read the thin one. So this thin one has 1, 2, 3 dots, and this thick one has 3 lines. So you have these 3 lines end on it. And when getting this tattooed, things that are often missed are line thickness, and something like these lines passing through this shape and connecting up on that shape is quite likely to be missed because the purple transfer stuff isn't, totally perfect, and like a little wrinkle or a small rub, the tattoo artist probably won't be able to even see on their stencil that they're supposed to cross this over, so really check that on the tattoo. This is going to be the most obnoxious spot for the tattoo artist to get right, because this line needs to pass through the R and connect on the S, and last but not least the E. So start marker, the universe. And that's all that's written in all this gunk. These are symbols, again, from the game. And you can, of course, switch out these symbols to be different ones you want from the game. It just seemed nice to kind of put them in orbit around the universe. It kind of makes sense here. And then in orbit around Journey, and having things orbit around these kind of at an angle designs, I think looks really good. So yeah, the universe, and then all this junk here is just extra junk going around an I with a shallow divot with 3 lines making it an S. And here's the comma. Here's an A outside the word circle, N with 1 line on it, and then the D with 3 dots. There's and. This shallow divot has 2 lines making it a W, and then the E is centered. Here's our word R, A outside the word circle, shallow divot with 1, 2, 3 dots, and then the E. So the universe is and we are. And then this design, starting here, we have just this one deep divot for a letter stem on this word, and that has no lines ending on it. Lines that pass through don't count. And this E is inside that divot stem, so Just like the E in the we, it needs to be inside the line of that word circle, on the line of the word circle, in the mouth of that divot. If it were outside, it would be an A. So deep divot with an E, so B. And then this word has a couple little things to note as far as tattoo artist things. I'm going to zoom in. So I'm going to zoom in on this thing. Make sure this line crosses here and connects here. For this one, make sure this line connects up here to the S, because 1, 2, 3 lines on the S. And this one needs to connect up to the U. Part of me really, really wants to just stylistically make that line poof there, just because that looks a little bit clean, but then that's not definitively a U, but I'll let you decide if you want that stylistic change or not, because this is now definitely nothing weird, nothing like pushing the rules of the system. Definitely a U, but you could, if you wanted to, do that to not have that little overlap, which is a thing that is, I don't know, it just is stylistic irksome, but having an IOU is hard to put in a thing and make it look nice, which I'm sure you realized when you were making your own versions of this. But yeah. Let's go ahead and read this. We have 1, 2, 3, 4 dots on the C. Then we have a U line going outwards. R, I, line going inwards, O, internal, U, line going outwards, and then this S with 3 lines. So 3 dots on the R, 4 dots on the C, and then 2 U's. So there's curious. And then here's our next word. This is just extra sentence junk to kind of fill in space and make a nice, like, forearm-sized flow to the design. O, inside our word circle, the N with 1 line. Again, I'm really pleased with how I matched the vowels, the O and the N, and the A and the N. Yippee, it looks similar. I like it when I can do that. And then here is something that, again, doesn't quite match because yours is difficult to match with is because we have a circle crossing the line at the beginning of the word your. So here's our word circle, this one here. And this Y is obnoxiously large, and it crosses our word circle, and here it's 2 dots here. So 2 dots on the Y. O. This is an I. I'm a dingus. What was my plan for this? How was I going to do this again? Oh yeah, that's right. I wanted to match the S, but then I gave up. And then I did a wrong thing. So we're just gonna... Yippee, random line. I don't like random lines. I hate having just a random line that doesn't fit in any of the patterns and does any of the things. Because this is not the right angle, and I want it to be the correct angle. Because this is straight through the hexagon, and straight through the hexagon is nice. But it would kind of make sense to have it line up with the U. So we're just going to cheese the line a little bit. It's a tattoo. Our forearms aren't straight. The straight line won't be totally straight, but it'll be straight enough, right? Probably? I don't know. So yeah, we're just gonna do this and hope nobody notices that this line isn't quite at the correct angle of that line. We could rotate that whole bad boy, actually. But then it wouldn't be perfectly symmetrical. Ah ha ha. Symmetrical, I don't know. Whatever, I'm smarticle. What if we did just rotate this whole shebang? Just a scotch, just a little bit. Oh, that's gonna unline my little center line. Because here is how it needs to be rotated to line up with where I want that U. You know, this ain't bad. This ain't bad. We could cheese this. Then it would line up. It'd be nice and stuff. But it's so different from that. Ah. Choices. Such little things, such agonization on such little things. That's how I roll. We're gonna put it back to how it was. Okay, so this is how it was. Do I want the off-center line? Yeah, because we're not adjusting, because this is nestled. Shoot, what if we rotate them the similar amount? Okay, so let me select it again and see how many degrees I have to rotate this bad boy to make it nice. Yippee, behind the scenes. Okay, so if we grab, rotate. No. Stop it. Go back. Go back. grab. Why is it chunking so small? That's annoying. Because we could just grab the is. Yeah, this will be fine. It'll be fine. We're just gonna rotate some stuff. And then we gotta move this back. Not totally centered anymore, but whatever. Good enough. Okay. Yippee, same shape. Okay, cool. We can delete our little ghost thing. We need to clean up some lines. Yay, overlapping. Symmetry is hard, yo. Okay, so we clean up. We don't clean up because we have freaking there. And then we can have a good plan for the U. I forgot to have a plan for the frickin' U, and then I have to do all this. It's okay. Well, I need to move the whole thing. Minus that crap. This needs to be that far from there. We're gonna have just the Y dots too. This is fine. They're fine. I don't want to grab the nodes. Fine. Erase. So there's that. That's pretty much like that. That's lined up. We can just shrink this a scotch. Nope, we can't because we erased. We can shrink this whole thing a scotch. Mayhaps. Nope. We can shrink this a scotch. There we go. That'll be fine. And it gives us more room for our Y dots. Okay, yeah, this is acceptable. Gotta love adjustments. Okay, all that to make a little line up, but that's what it's all about, right? I mean, I'm still not done. I gotta clean up those lines. Okay. Just looking at it to make sure it's nice and symmetric. This is why it's important to make sure you have a plan for all the awkward things like your pesky little U lines, but I didn't plan for my pesky little U lines. So we're here. Okay. Well, now that makes sense, kind of. Like it's doing a thing. That's not connected to anywhere over here, so it won't mess up anything further in the sentence. Okay, we have a Y with 2 dots. Could shift this a little bit now to make it more centered in the space we have. O-U-R, your. Yeah, that's how you spell your, without an I. Good job, Gomi. And then we have this, which might as well link those up a little bit. So I'm still torn on if I want this line to be straight or to be curvy like this one. I kind of like the curvy into a straight, like a, I don't know, something. Because this is a straight line and it goes into curvy. Because this is a straight line. This is the first time I've blended a curvy line into a straight line, but I don't know. It would feel weird to have a straight line be one of those like axis pivot point things on one of these like tilted hexagon things. But yeah, let's read the word journey. Bottom of our word circles here, a J has no modifiers. Here's the O. Here's the U, R with 3 dots, N with 1 line, E centered, and then the Y with 2 dots. And then again, 3 more little planet thingies. So yeah, that's that design. If you're familiar with Inkscape, this is on Inkscape. Some of the designs are paths, some of them are strokes. So don't export it as like it. Okay, so I rambled a lot in this video, but we're for that. Okay. So right now, sometimes things are paths. When things are paths, it's just the outline of the thing. And you can do things like change the line thickness really easily. If it is a fill, like, I think I made this one a fill. Yeah, this is a fill. You can add outlines to things. But that'll show up on the individual layers. It's a whole thing. I'm not going to talk about that in this video. Well, this is just good enough. My brain is soup. This was a hard design to do. Yippee challenge. But I think I did it. I think I did the challenge. Hope you find it good. It's always intimidating doing designs for people who are familiar with the script. Just to see if they like what I did with the thing, but I think mirrored, tilted, spacey, swirly with the little symbols. I met the requirements. Yippee. So yeah, that's that.